Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully. It is the dead of night, or the approximation of it in the realm of Hades. Prince of the underworld Zagreus rises from a fitful slumber, with much mischief on his mind.
Mischief? Me? I was just going to have a little look through Father's stuff.
All is quiet at this time. Ever-dreaming Hypnos put a spell upon the house, as willful Zagreus had asked of him. All are fast asleep, save for the prince. It is exactly as he planned.
Lower your voice, old man. I'm trying to be sneaky here.
He ventures toward the stately throne of his lord father, half expecting to be caught, but ill expecting what he is about to find.
I said shut up, old man.
He does not know exactly what he seeks. He only knows that something always has felt off to him, that he does not belong. Who is he, really? Lord Hades never would indulge such questions, so Prince Zagreus would find out for himself.
I'm not listening.
He rifles through his lord father's possessions. There is not much of any import there. Ledgers and administrative parchment work. Correspondence from Olympus which he had ignored. No trace of any reference to his son. But then, there is the note. Written finally in a hand and voice the likes of which the prince had never seen or heard.
Hades, I can no longer tolerate my life here in this place. So I'm leaving, even if it kills me. I won't be returning to Olympus. If there is a place where I belong in this world, it must be somewhere between heaven and hell. Perhaps it's on the coast and has a little garden. Take care of Cerberus. I shall miss him. Persephone.
Thus did Prince of the Underworld Zagreus absorb the contents of this hidden letter, written in his mother's hand.
His mother's hand. My mother's hand? Wait, what? You're saying this Persephone, that she's my mother? But Father always said that Nyx was that liar. He lied to me. They both did. All my life.
Thus did the prince discover, inadvertently, the well-kept truth about his lineage. Entirely by chance, this did occur. Persephone, the one-time queen of all the underworld. Where had she gone? And why? Engulfed by newfound questions and his rage, the prince decided to confront his lord and master.
You... why? You're... Nyx, you're not my mother. All this time, you and my father, you lied to me?
Oh, my dear child. So now you know. So now you know. But only half the truth. I can explain the rest, so... please. It never was my wish to hurt you.
Mother, I wonder, will you even remember me? I hear something.
Death approaches. Thought you could just get away from me, did you?
Thanatos. I figured it was only a matter of time before Father sent you after me to do his dirty work.
Zagreus, is that really why you think I'm here? Let's see how many of these exalted champions you can send back to their dooms, unless you'd rather I would send you back to yours. Here come your father's forces.
Let them come. Phew.
That settles that. You left, without so much as telling me goodbye. I suppose you knew I'd catch up with you sooner or later. Is that it? No escaping death and all?
I left when it was necessary, Than. I thought of you and hoped you'd understand. I have to do this.
That's more motivation than I've ever heard from you. Well, if you won't say it, I'll say it. Goodbye, Zagreus. Hypnos, really, that is the worst idea I think I've ever heard. Do you understand how little sense that makes?
I'm just saying, maybe if you just, I don't know, had all the mortals die at the same time, it'd save you a bunch of trips, and we'd have more time to spend together, huh?
I don't know why I bother with you, honestly. Get back to work, and let me do the same.
Oh. Thanatos.
Thought I'd find you here. Thought I might find you all the way out here. Although, quite frankly, I'm surprised you're still alive.
I can hold my own in case you haven't noticed, Than.
I haven't, Zag. Now stand back and let me show you how it's done. Let's slay these wretches quickly.
Let's, by all means.
Not helping Zagreus. You seemed a little winded there, no? Not even close to the surface yet, either.
Thanks for the vote of confidence there, Than.
You're very welcome. Now I'd better get back before Lord Hades catches on to this.
Oh.
But that was then and this is now, and we have work to do. Anyway, Than, I think we'd best continue this discussion at some other time.
You're interrupting private conversations, Zagreus. Leave us.
No, let him stay if that's what he wants. What does it matter? He's technically allowed within these halls, but he must know he isn't welcome anymore.
What shall we do here once you finally arrive? Perhaps we could go out and meet some mortals. I know all too many maidens or noble gentlemen who'd absolutely love to get to know you.
Thanatos.
You called? Still at it, I see. You're stubborn, and you are going to get me in a heap of trouble before all is said and done. All of you?
Excluding me, I hope.
Got more of them than I did, huh?
It isn't much then, but I got you something.
Want me to take that off your hands? Fine. But you are taking this from me. And if anybody asks, we're even. Or scratch that. Don't tell anyone about this. Understand?
Thank you, Than.
I've got to hand it to you, Zag. You're easy to track down. The shades of Tartarus are beginning to fear you even more than your Lord Father.
Oh, they won't fear me once they get to know me.
I'm not so sure about that. Even I'm beginning to fear you, I think. Seems I don't know you as well as I thought.
So did everybody miss me?
I'm up! Hey, did you see? My brother. He's come back. He's here, somewhere, I think. Good old Thanatos. He's so busy all the time, he never talks to me. Kinda like your dad with you, I guess.
Indeed.
Mother, is there something I can do to help with all of this? I spend too much time away from the house. Please, let me know.
You are already doing what you can to help, my son. Continue doing so. Matters are at stake here concerning you and all of us. Your support and choices in this shape the outcome that shall come to pass.
I understand, and I will do my best. Thank you for taking care of everything. I have every faith in you, Mother, and in this house. Farewell.
Farewell.
Okay. Something's off.
Death is inescapable. You have the butterfly I gave to you. Stay back then, and it'll make you stronger once I'm finished here. You're reckless, but you're quick. What, really? Come on, what is this, Zagreus? You think handing this to me makes up for everything you've put us through?
It's just something I found out there that I thought you might like, Than. Don't think anything of it.
Still running from yourself, I see. How's that been working out for you thus far?
I'm searching for my mother. You still live at home with yours. You don't know what it's like.
Mother Nyx was like a mother to you too, and this is how you repay her. You should be ashamed of yourself and learn your place.
Oh, I want a rematch now.
Hail, Prince.
Hey, welcome.
What? Go about your business, Zag. What if Lord Hades saw us chatting like this now? I risked everything by helping you out there and still you failed.
Turns out there's quite a lot of dead to fight down in the underworld. Though I probably got farther than I would have thanks to you.
Always happy to oblige. Especially when it causes me to risk my station. To risk everything I've worked for.
Than's keepsake. of Thanatos. The pierced butterfly grows stronger. My keepsake powered up. Thanatos?
Pardon the interruption. I can't stay long, so how about we get this business over with? They're coming, Zagreus. Be on your guard.
I'll get right on it then.
Hang on to this for me. Why bother with such empty gestures, Zag? You've said you're getting out of here. Best focus on that and leave me be.
It's not an empty gesture then. Besides, if I wasn't trying to stay focused, I'd be drinking it myself. I told you I don't need your help here, Thanatos.
It wasn't being offered. Just happened to be in the area is all. Carry on, Zagreus.
Blasted satyrs.
I met her, you know. Persephone, I mean. You look more like your father, but you have her eyes. One of them, anyway.
You never spoke of her to me. You must have known. You kept the truth from me, same as Nyx?
It's not like that. I didn't know any more than you. Besides, Lord Hades ordered all of us to never speak of her again. I thought it just a bad relationship. I didn't realize she left her son.
Something tells me Father wouldn't let her take me even if she wanted.
Maybe so. But even still, she did abandon you. Your family's here, if you ask me. But I can understand that. You need answers.
It's him.
I sensed your presence here. Let's see who's better at this, Zagreus. You shouldn't be doing this, Zag. You picked sides and things are not the same. A momentary stab at thoughtfulness can't fix something like that.
We've been through a lot then, and I think we'll be going through a lot more yet. Consider it a token of our kinship.
Listen to me. I don't know how else to put this, but I want you to come home, voluntarily. It's not just you swept up in all this nonsense now, and I know you didn't ask for me to get involved, but what did you expect?
Than, home is never going to be the same for me. There's no use trying to pretend. I have to go.
You don't have to do anything of the sort. You have no idea how good you've had it here. Maybe someday you'll come to understand.
Oh, how could I lose to him? Thanatos, I ought to have asked by now, but what's it like? Up there, I mean, outside? You never talk about it. I almost forget that's where you go for work.
What can I say? It's different. I never stay up there for very long. Don't think I could. It starts making me feel ill. Too many sensations all at once. And when the chariot of Helios is in the sky, it gets so bright that I can barely see.
That sounds awful. If it's that bad, why would all the Olympians chat it up so much?
There's no accounting for their taste, I guess. But I'm discounting certain aspects that are not so bad. You know what? I'll not spoil the surprise. I have a feeling you're going to see for yourself soon enough.
Maybe. I hope. Nyx, I ran into Thanatos out there. He aided me, although I think he's rather upset that I took off like this.
Thanatos is worried for you, child. I hope you understand whatever anger you may sense from him is not the feeling at the source. Please forgive his rudeness.
Fan.
Hello again. I got the message that you need assistance, Zagreus.
What do we have here?
Save some for me next time. What's with the look? You had your hands full, now you don't, thanks to me. Seems I'm left to thanking myself, since you're too proud to do it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say when he gets like this. Ah, damn you, Father.
What is it with the generosity lately? Look, I'll just stash this with the rest. If you really don't have a better thing to do with it, then dump it off on me.
Hey, that's an idea. One of these days or nights, we'll have enough of this stuff to throw a feast to make all of Olympus jealous.
Be on your way, Zagreus. I have an audience with Lord Hades in a moment. An inquiry into my recent absences.
What are you worried about, Than? You've never given him a reason not to trust you.
Recently, I'm not so sure. Whatever you're doing, it had better be worth it.
Death approaches.
How goes it, Zagreus? I got the feeling you could use some backup here. Here's something for the show. Be seeing you.
See you, Than. It's him.
Death is inevitable. Looks like we've got an urgent work-related matter to attend to. That's settled then. You held your own out there. I've gotta go.
Than's keepsake grows stronger. Like to think I learned something back there. Hey, Than, come join me in the lounge for old time's sake. Coast is clear. The work can wait.
You're really asking me to join you for a drink? I mean, you know what? Sure. The work can wait.
I somehow knew, you know. I always knew you weren't going to stay. You were so restless here. You just needed a reason to leave. And I hoped you wouldn't find one this quickly. Ugh, what am I saying? You have no idea.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, Than. I'm sorry that I'm putting you through all of this. It's something that I have to do. But I'm glad we know the truth about me now. Maybe we can move on from there.
I've always lacked your optimism, Zag. Anyway, the work has waited long enough. I need to get back to it. Thanks for the drink. Watch yourself out there, Zagreus. I have to go.
See you, Than. Than!
Life and death, one and the same. Barely caught up with you here, Zag. You must have had a little help from Hermes, I suppose. You're clear of them for now. You earned this fair and square. It's clear. Go.
Losing to Theseus.
Such tardiness is oft to be expected from your brother, but from you, Thanatos? You're practically the god of punctuality.
My lord, I apologize sincerely for the lapse in my performance as of late. I think my duties following the recent war above took more of a toll from me than I expected.
Thanatos, even we gods require rest from time to time. Someday we might get it around here. Once this accursed house is well in order, finally. Until then, I appreciate your diligence. Do not overextend yourself.
Thank you, my lord. I am at your service. I'll be getting back to my assignment now.
I know that toll.
Death has arrived. Hope you don't mind if I cut in here, Zagreus. I'm going.
Oh, he's tough for an old man.
You cannot keep falling asleep on the job like this, Hypnos. This is completely unacceptable.
Oh, I just nodded off a little while, Thanatos. I rest easy knowing that you're here. But if I goofed, why, I guess you could kill me dead or something, huh?
Don't give me any ideas. Pull yourself together and quit slacking off. The house needs help and you've got a job to do. Now get to it.
Oof. Something's amiss.
Did you miss me, Zagreus? I have a feeling this is not going to take much time at all. You never saw me.
Oh, I'll get that Hydra.
What is it, Zag?
Answer me something, Zagreus. What am I to you exactly, as of late? Because sometimes with you,
I'm sometimes at a loss myself, Thanatos. Though one thing I know is it's always really good running into you out there. It's, well, exciting. Sparring with you and all that. And then I know it means that I might get to see you here.
Well, here I am. But you didn't answer my question. Though you know something, forget I asked. I've got to go.
Wait.
You're pretty close with Thanatos, aren't you, boss? We don't often run in the same lanes, though our duties sometimes intersect a bit. Odd chap. Seems good at what he does, though.
Moving right along. Say, Skelly, how'd you get here anyway?
Oh, you know, just kind of zapped right in like Papa lets us do. Some of us sometimes. Why do you ask?
I meant, how did you get to the realm of the dead in the first place? Lord Hermes whisk you to the entryway? Thanatos scoop you up, Charon give you a lift? What?
Oh, well, that's a little personal, don't you think, boyo? I don't like to talk about it much. So, if I could have a little privacy...
It's him.
I have arrived. Good, I'm not too late. Got here as quickly as I could. Not bad, Zag. Here.
About when we last spoke, I care about you, Thanatos, a lot. Though you asked what you are to me, how am I supposed to even answer that?
I don't know. Sometimes I miss not feeling anything. Can't always trust what feelings say. I get to thinking, are we only friends, or... Look, this is embarrassing.
To think discussing feelings would be even harder than annihilating Father's forces. But I've been asking myself the same thing, Than, if it's any reassurance.
Well, if you come up with any answers, I guess let me know. Good running into you.
You too. Achilles thinks that I'm the god of blood?
The fates are pretty mean to keep on doing this to you.
You've been abetting him, Thanatos. Behind my back. Betrayal. I would ask you why. Well...
My lord, he and I... Please, go lock me up in Tartarus or deal whichever justice you see fit, but my loyalty is not subject to change, and I cannot stand by and watch you fight. The matter between you and Zagreus, there has to be some resolution here.
You dare to lecture me? My loyal subjects are too few of late, I think. This is your realm, not mine. I'll not cast you into that wretched pit. It's not like I've someone to replace you here besides. Now then, be gone.
I am deeply sorry, Lord.
Thanatos?
The time has come. Let's get this done. That's quite enough of that.
Gods grant me strength.
You beat me once again. Outdid me once again there, huh? I have to admit, you're not as bad at all of this as I expected. First I found you, I was certain that you had no chance at all.
I seem to have this whole easy to underestimate thing about me, based on a decent sum of my relationships. In any case, I always welcome your appearances out here. I know it's not been easy for you, Than.
That's fair as an assessment, I would say. But then again, it's never been an easy time for me. I know I have to do my job, but I don't have to keep on helping you like this.
What, you're telling me this is it? You're just going to leave me to my own devices then? I've proved myself to you, something like that?
No, you deadbeat, I'm telling you the opposite. Why do you think I keep on showing up? You may not really need me, Zagreus, but I will take these opportunities to help. I take it that's all right.
It is all right. Thanks, Than. I'm back. Again. Hey, Than. For all the times you've bailed me out and just all the times you've been around for me, I thought I'd get you this. The real thing.
Ambrosia. Zagreus, where did you even... Don't you think this is a bit excessive?
You say that like it's a bad thing. A little bit of excess from time to time never hurt anyone, I'm sure.
Oh, you would be surprised. Though if you're going to embarrass me, you know what? I am going to reciprocate. Behold.
What? Thanatos, is this... You're really giving more to me? I I'm deeply honored. Than, level with me on this. You didn't happen to hire a shifty character called Skelly to assist me here and there, did you?
Who? What? No. Why would you even ask?
Didn't think so.
Perhaps you know a god called Thanatos. The two of us are very close associates, you know. Do give him my best wishes should you see him soon.
More bloodshed, then. Than.
Death has come. This one is off the record, Zagreus. Come on. You're fast, I'll give you that.
Oh, Than. That blasted tiny vermin. For you, Thanatos. The Olympians might be accustomed to this stuff, but I think we should have our share of it down here. At least you should.
You know, the Olympians do have good taste in certain things. The last bottle you gave me, it was better than expected. Though I almost decided not to try it at all.
But try it you did. And now you'll get to try this one for comparison's sake. Each one's supposed to be different, you know.
Different, huh? Well then, I guess I'll have to see what you mean by that. Thank you, Zag. You didn't have to do this.
Yeah, but I wanted to. Hey, what is it you're always staring at out there anyway, Than? I don't see anything.
The river Styx is right in front of you and you don't see anything, Zag? I can watch it endlessly. Studying a competition, you might say. Most mortals expect to get here by river, with Charon. Not with me.
So you're locked in ruthless battle with a river, searching it for any signs of weakness, that sort of thing. That sounds stressful.
I find it rather soothing, as a matter of fact. A break from having to deal constantly with mortal souls. Speaking of which, I have to pick somebody up right now.
Go get them.
It's time.
I'm out. Bye now. Which one? Help! That's what you get.
I trust that Thanatos is doing well, although he brings to mortals merciful release. Whilst I most certainly do no such thing, I do appreciate his take on it.
The war is on. Oh, I want a rematch now. Father, you always said the Olympians wanted nothing to do with our kind. But doesn't Charon work directly with Hermes? Maybe it's you who wants nothing to do with them.
I want nothing to do with them, correct. My hasty nephew assists Charon out of necessity alone. Not even Thanatos is able to keep up with the rate at which mortals expire and must then cross our borders.
Want me to pitch in? Just give me your blessing and I'll head straight for the surface.
No, I think not, boy. You are born of this realm. The surface is a windswept waste. You don't know how good you have it here.
You're right, I don't. Hey Nix, I would have you know, I'm now proud owner of my very own chthonic companion. You really built them to last. Just not very many of them, apparently. I'd all but given up on ever finding one.
I sensed this outcome, and it pleases me. Though you never would have simply discovered such a thing. They each are unique artifacts that must be given willingly if they are to retain their shape and power.
I have to say, and I do mean this as a compliment, it's hard for me to imagine Night Incarnate herself fashioning these little keepsakes to be given between friends.
Do not mistake them for their unassuming look. Within them is the strength of an unbreaking bond between two souls conjoined.
And I just adore them. Thanatos.
It's time. Remember, not a word of this to anyone. Let's go.
You took down more than I did.
I hope you're ready for some more of the real thing there, Than, because I got you some and I won't be taking what is this, Zag, for an answer.
Ugh. What is this? Come on already, Zagreus. Are you just messing with me now? How did you even manage to get more of this, much less decide to hand it off to me?
In order, no, I'm not. By ransacking my father's realm repeatedly, and it's because I like you, Thanatos, in case you still have some misgivings about that.
You like me, Zagreus? I never thought. I don't know why that sounds so strange coming from you, given everything that's happened as of late.
Yeah. Look, if you don't feel the same way about me at this point, I would rather know. Cease all these coy gift exchanges and all that.
I never said anything like that. You know what? There's a bunch of mortals I have to go fetch. Goodbye.
Than, wait. Not too bad that time.
What? What?
You ever think of giving Thanatos a break, Father? He seems to have more than his fair share of work of late.
Blame the blasted mortals for perishing so easily, or blame Lord Ares prior to accusing me. With their surface wars, not only do they kill each other readily, but also often subsequently perish from the consequences of it all.
What wars? What's going on up there? Why don't the other Olympians do something?
Bah, how should I know? The mortals are equipped to settle their petty differences by any number of means. You have to make room for them all sooner or later, regardless.
That's certainly a way of looking at it. Hey, Achilles, I uncovered a late passage in the Codex with regard to Thanatos and me. It says, you say, you think that I'm the god of blood? I'm not the god of anything, I think.
Oh, nonsense, lad. If you're a god, then you're the god of something, I'm sure. It's just an observation, and I genuinely hope it's no offense. But see, your father and your mother, and your bloodstones and your disposition.
I'm not the god of anything, all right?
Hi! Excuse me, sorry, I just have to file this report. It's very late.
Moaning and groaning. Than, what's your relationship with Ares on Olympus? I know he deals in death himself, but his approach seems rather different from your own.
I do not care for his approach at all, but he has been professionally courteous with me. More than I can say for most of your Olympian relatives, I suppose.
You mean the rest of the Olympians don't treat you well?
Discounting Hermes, I should say, the rest of them have nothing much to do with me at all. I can imagine why. I know it's complicated with your father here. But as for Ares, I think he's all right.
Disturbingly all right. What's new, Meg?
I sense something of death upon you, Zagreus. What's that you have? Something from Thanatos, is it?
Oh, this old thing. It's just a listless butterfly Than gave me, which happens to fill me with even more supernatural strength than usual. Don't pay it any mind.
Not even Thanatos can help you here. But if I ever start a bug collection, I'll know who to call.
I hear something.
Blood and darkness. Don't have much time, but let me see if I can pitch in. Good work, my friend.
Thanatos, I wanted to apologize for the last time I approached you with a bottle of the real thing and give the whole exchange another shot. Would that be all right?
You're asking my consent to give me yet another lavish gift. Sure, permission granted. Though what makes you think that your approach this time is going to be any more successful than the last?
I don't know that it will. I never really know exactly where I stand with you. But I know how I feel. And I'd rather be upfront with you even if it means risking our relationship such as it is.
Our relationship? It wasn't long ago you were prepared to throw it all away while making for the surface, if you don't recall. But now you're saying that you care for me. And what exactly, Zagreus?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Than. I should not have left the way I did without letting you know. But when you found me, I think that's when I knew, or started to realize, you know?
Yes, I know, I think, because when I heard you took off, the anger that I felt, it wasn't something I expected. So, what do we do now?
Maybe we ought to take our time. Unlike the real thing there, that's a commodity we have in good supply. Just know that if you feel the way I do, you know where to find me. And if not, I'm grateful anyway.
I see. Well then, the best that I can say for now is that I'm grateful too for this. Take care of yourself, Zag.
You too.
Anyway, good catching up, Hypnos.
So long!
Ah, yes.
I am here. What say we go take care of business here just like we used to, Zag? You've gotten stronger, Zag. Good to see you taking little Mort there on one of your strolls. Means I can better keep an eye on you out there.
He's been great to have around for sure. Still can't believe you found him after all this time. You used to always carrying him around. I was so sad for you when he got lost.
And I cannot believe you still remember that. Regardless, he will not be getting lost again under your supervision. Accurate?
Accurate.
Well, well.
Thanatos, I've meant to ask, is it really the case that many mortals have a crippling fear of death?
It is. I'm quite feared up there. Most of them cannot distinguish between me and, say, Lord Ares, or your father even. We fill them with despair. No helping it.
Why not? I mean, isn't it kind of a big problem that they have such negative associations here? Can't we, I don't know, do something to educate them all?
We've all the time to educate them here. Their ignorance of death is solved almost as soon as they experience their first. Though I suppose they might be better off knowing before the fact.
Yeah, seriously. Lord Uncle Zeus.
Now, Zagreus, once you arrive, we'll have to find for you a suitable mate, won't we? Fine young man such as yourself. Normally, there's much to choose from around here, with some exceptions, of course, such as my cunning daughter, Artemis, willfully uninclined to take a mate at all.
Yes, Zagreus, in spite of all these perfect, chiseled prospects everywhere about yearning to marry or embarrass me, for some reason I prefer to spend my time mostly alone or with my nymph friends in the woods.
2 blessings are better than 1. Got me again, damn it.
I need to ask something of you.
Thanatos, I'd ask you to come in, but you're already here. It's really good to see you.
Just tell me one thing, Zagreus. Did you really mean what you told me before, that maybe we ought to take our time?
I just don't mean to push you, Than. I know all this is kind of a lot. And I wanted you to know this isn't some impulsive thing for me. I'll wait for you however long it takes.
You have no concept of which impulses to act upon and which to keep in check. You say you'll wait? Well, let me ask you this. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm here. Already. Right?
Than. Oh, you're right. Hey, Than. Look, speak up already. I don't like it when you're quiet for too long. What's on your mind?
A lot of things, and you will have to grow to like it, Zag. Or what I mean is, don't take my silence the wrong way, all right? I better get going, though. I'm way behind on work, but see you again, if that's all right.
It is. It is. Right there.
Hey, you're in good with Thanatos, isn't that right? A real broody sort. Sometimes I think maybe I ought to just invite him to a feast, but then what if he cools the whole thing down, makes everybody kind of you know?
To my health. Hi there.
I have returned. Got little Mort with you there, huh? Well, there's no need to summon me this time.
You're not too bad at this.
Go on.
Father. Then, I had another question about death. So, why is it mortals grieve so much about the thing? I mean, it definitely hurts there for a little while, but it's not that bad.
They see it as their one and only chance. Imagine if after you perished, that was it. Back to the infinite chaos. Everything about you returned to how it was before you were even there.
But that's absurd. One life. Though, yeah, that's horrible even to think about.
I know, right? Some of them know that isn't how it is and try to tell their kind about what it is we do here, but it's slow going getting the information out. Either way, I get to be the bearer of good news.
Didn't know you saw it that way. There he is.
Saw Thanatos again lately here, boss, and I want to tell you, almost looked as though he cracked a smile when he mentioned you. Never seen anything like that with him.
Faster than ever. One down, one to take that.
Let's even up
Here he comes.
It's been a little while, hasn't it? Had a feeling I would find you all alone out here. I'll take more down next time.
Let's keep this between us.
Shall we?
I still cannot believe that Thanatos is helping you. I mistook him for someone with integrity.
You mistook him for someone who blindly follows orders without considering the implications.
How dare you? If you like death so much, then here, let me indulge you. Thanatos will welcome you with open arms.
I made it. Beyond the frozen overlook, await the first glimpse of the sun to your left, and onward through the cold. Sure hope this works, Nix.
The surface, windswept, racked by freezing cold, nonetheless instills within the prince a sense of awe and the sublime, for it is unlike anything that he has seen.
It's beautiful. That thing. That's the sun. Is this? It can't.
Who's there?
Hello?
Hello indeed. Pray, who might you be wandering all the way out here? You're trespassing on private property, you know. Speak up.
You must be Persephone. My name is Zagreus, and I think I might be your son.
What? How dare! Get out of here! Get out or I shall make you! Out with you!
No, so then you are her. I don't care if you hate me, but I'm not leaving until I get some answers. I never even knew you existed. Why did you leave me?
You died. You died. Those burning feet, they sputtered out when you were born. But now you're standing here before me. How?
I died? I died? What, you mean permanently died? But I'm alive. Oh, gods. You never even knew I existed either.
Alive. Zagreus, he even kept your name. You live. How can this be? You live. You live. Oh, the cruel fates. My son.
Mother. In short, I beat him, finally, though he did everything he could to prevent our meeting here like this. But there's something he wanted me to tell you in the end. He said to tell you Cerberus is doing very well.
Ah, he told you that, did he? That's good. That's good. Though, tell me something, Zagreus. How is it that you found me? To have journeyed all this way, I scarce believe it. Zagreus?
Oh, guess I'm just a little tired, that's all. Not accustomed to the weather, as I think you call it.
No. No, that isn't it. It's that you cannot stay here. You can't stay here.
Really, you're kicking me out? Why?
The fates are cruel, Zagreus. You're bound to that place. Same as your father. So they would have us say goodbye. For now. My heart soars knowing you live. But then it breaks that our time together was so brief.
No. I can come back. I can come back. Now that I found you, maybe he'll just let me come back.
You tell him I demand it. And I demand he also tell me how come he, or for that matter Nyx, never sent notice that you lived. Olympus is all rife with schemers. But I was so naive to think that they were different.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him. I feel awful. I have to go.
The Styx shall take you then. Oh, Zagreus. Farewell, my son. Won't you come back to me? When you are able, please. Come back. I shall be waiting here. However long it takes.
However long it takes. Can't hold on.
Zagreus.
Megara.
Thanatos here.
Fight on.
The sun's here.
Cheers.
Again.
Sounds power.
So my heart tells me that you've developed quite the bond with moody Thanatos, haven't you there? I always figured that his brooding quality was just an act.
Heartbreak time. Just in time.
I found you, Zagreus. Your father's forces making trouble for you, Zag. You beat me once again.
Bye, Than. Ugh.
I have to tell you something, lad. When Thanatos returned to seek you out, I was very concerned. Not just for you, either. But you've since patched things up.
I think so. I hope so. It was complicated for a while there, but I think things are clearer for us now. Not just in the moment, but in retrospect. I'm not making any sense.
Oh, on the contrary. I think I know exactly what you mean. I don't know Thanatos particularly well. It wasn't he who brought me here, you see. And he was always very busy, like your father. But he always struck me as a decent sort.
He is.
Sorry, Zag.
Do you remember anything else about my mother, Than? Just anything? You weren't close, I guess.
We weren't. She kept to herself, as I recall, and I would do the same. Unlike my present company, I do not ask too many questions. It was quite clear to me she wasn't from this place.
Father isn't from this place either. How was she any different?
Sometimes I have to be reminded that Lord Hades wasn't born here, like the rest of us. But Persephone, she had a radiance about her, I suppose. Reminded me of the outside. But I don't mean that in a negative respect.
Radiance, huh? Doesn't sound like Father at all. Thinking I ought to check the old administrative chamber now.
Looking the other way, don't worry.
Thanatos?
I'm back, King Theseus.
Thanatos?
The champion himself. Thanatos! You like it.
Look at this. How am I going to beat him?
Oh! Hey, there you are! So is it true? You know, about you and Thanatos? Because he told me and I just said, whoa, but then everything made sense?
I'm sure whatever it is he said is completely true. Yes, Hypnos.
Whoa!
You and Achilles ever get to talk much, Than?
I have my orders, he has his. What do you think? Even back when he was still alive, there was no real chance I was going to be the one to take him here, given his line of work.
Because he was a warrior. When mortals die a violent death, they are no longer your case, are they?
No. I tend to those in less of a hurry to come here.
I know that toll.
I have returned. I only have a little time until my next assignment, but this shouldn't take too long. Bye, Zag.
Oh, he's tough for an old man.
I saw you voided the old pact between Orpheus and your father. So now he gets to see his wife from time to time?
He does, and I did then. I think we can stand to see a little less of him if it means he can be happier for the remainder of eternity.
You really need to learn to stop meddling in others' affairs. Did either of them even ask your help? I can't imagine Orpheus did, and I'm guessing his wife's feelings were complicated too, from what I know of the circumstances of their final meeting.
What? Orpheus is my mate, then? And I came to know his muse Eurydice as well. They still had feelings for each other, but with no way to communicate.
So you decided to step in. I think my instincts on the subject are just not the same as yours. I know your intentions were in the right place, but you know what? Forget it.
Than, wait. Come on in, Than.
Why, hello, Zagreus. You look like you could use a hand. You're reckless, but you're quick.
Hey, I didn't mean to lay the guilt on you for what you did for Orpheus, Zag. I just worry when we get involved, we can make matters worse.
You haven't ever made anything worse, Than. But as for me, I realized what you meant. I was so eager to do something for Orpheus when I first met Eurydice, I never asked them if it was okay.
At least things turned out well for them, but that was fortunate. Family troubles, personal relations, and the like. It's sensitive business. Though, who am I to talk? You didn't ask me to show up like this.
I'm glad you did, though, Than. I'm back. Again.
I saw the faded list of minor prophecies was requisitioned through the house contractor, Zagreus. Didn't take you for an agent of the fates.
Turns out I'm full of surprises, Thanatos. Though the three fates are your sisters, aren't they? Surprised you didn't requisition the list yourself.
Guess it just wasn't meant to be. Though, I don't know them at all. Keep only to themselves somewhere. Sometimes I wonder whether everything really is preordained or whether they're making all this up as they go.
I can hazard a guess. Let's go with this. Here, Thanatos, why don't you have yourself this little table?
This can't be.
What use has death incarnate for such things?
Lord Ares.
It is my understanding that you have grown rather close with Thanatos, my kin. A perfect choice of mate, though I confess I'd not expected death to have affection for another save himself.
The will to fight. Hey, Than.
I got you. Not a word of this to anyone back home. You hear me, Zagreus? Hang on to this for me. You have this.
See you, Than.
Hey, listen here a moment, Hades kid. Look, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing Orphe back to me again and everything.
Eurydice, you're more than welcome, really. You've helped me through the flames of hell time after time. Least I could do is coax old Orpheus out of his private pit of despair so you and he could set things right between the two of you.
Well, you're a real sweetheart, hon. You'll still be seeing Orphe all the time around your house, but now I get to see him too. Nice having something to look forward to, you know? Bet someone out there feels that about you. You got it, hun.
Than!
Time to die. Got to go.
Than!
Looks like I got here just in time. I heard you got yourself into another mess that needed cleaning up. You held your own, I guess.
He's strong, I'll give him that.
Looks like you have everything under control. Nice work, Hypnos.
Yep.
Was just thinking about you.
In the name of Hades. How about another of our little contests, Zagreus? Here's something for the show. Not a word of this.
Damn you, Father. Hey, Than, tell me something, and forgive the awkward question here, but are we good? I mean, between us. Any infuriating habits I should know about, that sort of thing?
You know I don't have time to list all your infuriating habits, Zagreus. Though, if any of them were outside my usual tolerance threshold, I promise to let you know. All right?
So then we're good. Because I think we're good, but I just wanted to make sure.
We're good. See you, all right?
Good. Get on.
I happen to be in the area. What do you say we deal some death together, Zagreus? Short work there, wasn't it? You've gotten stronger, Zag.
Thanatos is on assignment, huh?
It's him, Baldy.
Hey, sir. Sisyphus, you mind my asking what you did to warrant this particular arrangement you've got here? Pushing a boulder till the end of time and all? Never heard it in your own words.
Well, it's a bit of a long story, Prince. My time had come, though I just wasn't ready, you might say. Your father thought he had me in his clutches, but then, shoom, I gave him the slip. Your father's henchman, Thanatos, he'll back me up on that.
Outsmarted Thanatos, that's amazing. What happened then?
Turns out your father doesn't like us mortals cheating death. Eventually they found me, so now I'm stuck here with my boulder friend. I push old Baldy up the hill to the beat of the Fury's whips, then he tumbles down, and then we go again.
So then you're stuck forever. No reprieve. That's terrible. Wish there was something I could do to help.
You save those sympathies for someone else, Your Highness. I could be Prometheus, spending an eternity having my liver gobbled up. But instead, I get to stay in shape and have these chats with you. Now, I'd better get back to it. Then here you go.
Thank you, mate. Baldy, how do you handle being trapped in Tartarus for all eternity, doomed to be pushed up and down a hill repeatedly for no good reason? You know, I think I'm growing more accustomed to relating to a giant stone. A pleasure.
Careful out there.
Thanatos.
Quite a mess you've made here, Zagreus.
You're back. I thought you made it out. No matter.
You took down more than I did.
Van, help!
Ugh, this heat.
No more heads. Oh, now how do I get through all that armor?
Mother Nyx told me you restored the eldest sigil, Zagreus. I couldn't believe that was your doing. What you did, it meant a lot to her.
It was my pleasure. Say, did Nyx ever let on to you of her relationship with Chaos at any point?
No, not everyone is quite as sharing as you are, Zag, nor as inclined to pry. But still, in this case, sounds like it worked out. So thank you, if she hasn't said as much.
Least I could do for all she's done for me.
Death approaches. Thought I might stop by and check up on this corner of the underworld, Zag. That takes care of that, I guess. See you.
I'll get you for this, Father. Hey, just how far are you able to shift anyway, Than? I never could go more than a blade's length in front of me, while you're out there skipping across the entire world, probably.
Most of it, yes. Don't beat yourself up, though, Zagreus. It's a practice skill, but I've apparently been able to do it since birth. Mother Nyx says I was a real handful.
I can see that.
Someone there? You got anyone special in your life, by the way, hon? You seem like you'd be good for somebody out here.
You know what? Yes, I do, Eurydice. Things have moved so fast for me lately, I barely stop to think about it, though. It helps not having to go through everything alone, just knowing I'll see them again soon.
Know what you mean. And hey, that's great. Long as you can still be yourself. I've known too many nymphs. Their whole lives revolved around somebody they loved. I bet whoever it is that loves you, it's because of who you are. Freshly made.
Father. Somehow I always knew, you know, that you were not my birth mother. I mean, look at Hypnos and Thanatos. There's no way that I could have been related to them. Everybody knew, and yet, when I finally learned for certain, it was still a shock.
I always knew, in turn, that you would learn the truth of it eventually, and I was fearful of what would occur after that time arrived. I'm grateful it has come and gone. Though, tell me, I still find I call you child. Is your preference that I cease to use such terms from this point on?
No, Nyx, please, it's quite all right. You may not have given birth to me, but you still cared for me. I never doubt that. Likewise, are you sure it's all right that I continue to address you by name?
It is more than all right, my child.
Hey, lad. Lad, I heard from Nyx. She said that she was able recently to re-establish contact with Chaos, thanks to you. You're just full of surprises, reforging old bonds between primordial gods like it was nothing.
Oh, just took a bit of tampering with the sigil in the admin chamber. Whole bunch of darkness, too. But I could tell that Nyx and Chaos, they seem to really miss each other, to the extent they are able to miss anybody.
I think they're plenty capable of missing their loved ones, lad. The amount of time that either of us have existed, it's nothing compared to either of them. Imagine being apart from someone you care about for that long.
I couldn't stand it.
Don't make me do this, Zag. Thought I'd drop in. I heard there was a matter that required my attention here. You might want to stand back there, Zag.
That's not my style, Fan.
It's a tie.
Pleasure doing business.
Theseus can't just run over me like that.
Too bad, boy.
Father, let me ask you something work-related here. I know the shade called Sisyphus once wronged both you and Thanatos, and has since paid a heavy price. But don't the Fury Sisters now have better things to do than torture him?
You come to me to question how I allocate my resources. Preposterous. I care nothing for that wretched shade. That he is tortured for eternity is but a technicality resulting from his arrogance. The terms of his incarceration are long lost.
So then if I could somehow find those terms, then theoretically I could grant him a pardon.
If you could somehow do your job and enact miracles, then yes. You could do anything then, I suppose. Including waste your time on those of his undeserving ilk.
That's good to know.
Back in one piece. We showed those wretches last time, didn't we?
Here you go. Oh, I think Thanatos would love this one. Or totally ignore it.
Thanatos is far too industrious to require such a thing.
Contractor, I have another job. Should soften up that corridor down there.
Thanatos has no need for such embellishments.
I thought I'd find you here. We'll catch up later. Now let's deal with these wretches and be done. You held your own out there. Till next time.
How could Lerny do this?
You and my son. It pleases me to see the two of you have grown so close of late. Thanatos has always led a solitary life. He never would complain of it, and yet, I know he yearned for closeness in his way.
Thank you, Nix. I think we each have harbored feelings for each other for some time. We've finally been true about them.
Then in this, you each achieved what you desired. I ask that you take care of my dear son. I often fear that he shall work himself too hard.
Oh, he's all right. Though I'll be sure to keep an eye on him.
Then very well.
Huh. You are in so much trouble.
Thanatos.
How goes it, Zagreus? Want to stand back and watch me work here, Zag? You're fast, I'll give you that.
I'm off.
There he goes. Oh, blasted heavily armored half-bull.
Welcome home. We'll have to catch up more some other time.
Let's go with this. By my decree, this house is not a house without this rug.
The poets doubtless shall be singing of your rug.
Hey, Than,
forgive my rudeness here.
Thanatos!
Get out.
You took Lord Hades down. You really did. I've never seen him quite like this before. I could scarce believe it when he came up through the pool of sticks himself.
Seemed only fair in the grand scheme of things. He slew his own parents at some point, right? I think the fates enjoy this sort of thing.
Come on, Zag. Take some credit where it's due. Though, you'll forgive me if I keep my distance for a little while, as I think you have some issues to resolve. You watch yourself.
I'm planning to.
Blood and darkness. You've come this far, now let's make sure you go the distance, Zag. You earned this fair and square. You had your hands full.
Beyond the frozen overlook, await the first glimpse of the sun to your left, then onward through the cold. It's...
Zagreus, you're back.
I'm here, Mother. Mother, I discovered how come Father led you to believe that I could not survive past birth. He didn't lie to you exactly, so he says.
Wait, slow down, Zagreus. What do you mean? He told me you would not survive your birth, yet here you are. How wasn't that a lie?
Because he thought it was the truth. The fates appointed him dominion over the entire underworld, but he would never have an heir, so he was led to understand. He never expected me to be born, much less survive.
He never expected you to survive. Then, forgive my asking, but why did you? How did you? The fates are not known for making mistakes when it comes to such things.
Nyx saved my life. Or gave me life, I guess. Then raised me in your absence. The fates are her daughters, right? Maybe she persuaded them to go easier on me. She cannot say more. In any case, apparently it took her quite a while to revive me, and by then you were gone.
Nyx. Of course she was involved. I only managed to escape because of her. Then she restored my stillborn son to life and nurtured him? And I never would have known unless that child, fully grown and having learned the truth, defied his father and then found me here.
Yes, although we still don't know how come Father and Nyx never sent for you. Though, let me ask you something, Mother, if you please. If you had found out that I was born and very much alive, would you have come back?
Would I have come back? To see my only child? Had I but known you lived, I would have gladly gone through hell again to see you, Zagreus. Of course I would have.
Well then, what if Father didn't want you doing that?
What if he didn't want me coming back to him? Or seeing you? Oh no, you're fading again, Zagreus. You've pushed yourself too hard. But what is it you meant by what you said?
It's just a hunch of mine. I'll be back.
Quite a mess you've made here, Zagreus. Figured you'd be up to have another of our little contests. Now let's go. Together, we bring death.
Easy.
Not bad, Zag. Here. What are you doing back here, Zag? You made it out.
I did, but I had to come back. And not exactly voluntarily. I'll be visiting up there from time to time, though it looks like I'll be staying here.
Visiting from time to time? I don't understand.
It's my mother. She's alive and well. It's just that I can't stay with her up there for very long, so we'll have to catch up one visit at a time.
I see. Well then, that's good. That's good because it means that I won't have to track you down up top. Because between us, I can only take so much of it up there.
I know what you mean. I'll get you for this, Father. Where's Thanatos, I wonder? Here he comes.
Pardon the interruption. Not a word of this to anyone back home. You hear me, Zagreus? Till we meet again.
Oh, he's tough for an old man. Hey Than, now hypothetically, if I were to have vanquished Charon in single combat after having, I don't know, say, helped myself to one of his wares at no charge, how long would you say he'd hold it over me?
Everything is an exchange with Charon, Zag. If there was something you refused to pay for, then I'm going to assume that's why you're back here now. The debt is paid in obols or in blood, or their closest counterparts, I guess.
So then, hypothetically, we're squared away.
Thought I'd find you here. I got the message that you need assistance, Zagreus. You're not too bad at this. Don't die, Zag.
Oh, Lerny, why?
Heard your latest reports were looking good, Hypnos. You keep it up.
See ya!
Well, I don't see why not. Father always wanted a sundial. Though that aside, let's have a sundial back there post-haste.
A sundial at last. Indeed.
I have arrived. Hope you don't mind if I cut in here, Zagreus. You so-called champions could use a lesson in humility.
Lesson 1. Don't mess with either one of us.
Got more of them than I did, huh? Should be clear.
Thanatos.
Hold on. Keep going.
Thanatos?
Death has come. What do you say we deal some death together, Zagreus? All in Elysium should know of us by now.
I know, right?
Here's something for the show. Take care, Zagreus.
Back again.
You okay? You're really staying, Zagreus? I mean, between the generally ill-conceived attempts to reach the surface every so often.
I am. I figured it's the only way I could continue interrupting you while you try to do your job. You work too hard then. Live a little, right?
Huh. Well then, I'll see what I can do about that. You'll have to show me what you mean by live a little, though.
I'll hold you to that.
Good to see you.
Hey, sir.
How goes it with old Master Thanatos of late, Prince said? Is he at least less stern with you than with the poor mortals he's sent to take in here?
Oh, Thanatos is doing all right. Much like my father, I think he feels he has some sort of fearsome reputation to uphold. Or maybe he's perpetually stressed over his work. But he's been well lately.
That's good, I guess. Always appreciated that he ultimately took me in, rather than having to show up here through much more sudden, much more painful means. Didn't stop me from trying to avoid the trip, of course. You've got just the thing.
Cheers, mate. Than!
That thing causing trouble. The time has come. This one is off the record, Zagreus. Come on.
Don't be too reckless to outpace me, Zagreus.
I'll be as reckless as I want.
You're reckless, but you're quick.
see you at home.
Achilles might be in Elysium, I guess.
Over here.
Your trainer's been absent from his post, more so than usual. You voided his pact with Lord Hades, didn't you? I don't know how you did it.
You know he's more than my trainer, Than. As for how I did it, turns out being the first and only son of Hades has its privileges. Now Achilles gets to be with someone he loves, who loves him back.
Love is common among mortals. Is theirs really so special as to be worth the trouble? Not just on your part, but theirs.
It is. I think it is.
I got you. How about another of our little contests, Zagreus? It's a draw. I'm gone.
Have to tell you something, Than. My birth mother, she didn't abandon me. Or at least, she didn't think she did.
She didn't think she did? What are you talking about, Zach? She left when you were born, was never seen or spoken of again until all this with you.
Well, it turns out she never knew I was alive at all. Complications when I was born. She had been struggling already here, and it was all too much, I guess. By the time Nyx brought me back, my mother was long gone.
What? But Mother Nyx and your father, they could have sent for her, let her know. They must have known where she went.
Nyx knew, but father must have convinced her that that it would be for the best if she never found out about me. So she could live in peace, away from all of this, and away from Olympus.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Fan.
Looks like I got here just in time. Let's get this done. You're fast, I'll give you that. Well, I'm off.
Guess Than must be at work. It's him.
You called? I heard you got yourself into another mess that needed cleaning up. You're not too bad at this. Stay alive. Went all the way again, huh? Sounds like we've both been keeping plenty busy as of late.
See you, Than.
Upon my name, you lack the cheerfulness of Hypnos and the competence of Thanatos, but have more willfulness than both combined.
I'll show you willfulness.
Death approaches. Don't have much time, but let me see if I can pitch in. Who dies first?
Hopefully not me.
You beat me once again. We should do this again.
Wish I could do that. Oh, I need to fix this.
I heard you made
the
it,
old
Zag.
administrative chamber there. Thanatos, the world outside, didn't you say that it would make you sick being out there for very long at all? I understand now what you meant by that. Beautiful place and all, but it's good to be back.
See what I mean now, Zag? Nice place to visit on occasion, sure. But I definitely wouldn't want to live there.
Couldn't if I tried. Hi there.
Thought I'd drop in. Your father's forces making trouble for you, Zag? Good work, my friend.
How am I going to beat him?
Plenty of time for sleeping once your shift is over, right, brother?
Bye now!
Thanatos.
Death has arrived. Want to stand back and watch me work here, Zag? You held your own out there.
Ugh, I'm late.
Just up ahead. Beautiful.
Zagreus.
It's only me.
Zagreus. It's wonderful to see you, but I need to ask something of you. That you not visit me again here in this place. Both for your safety and for mine.
Wait, what? Because of what would happen if the Olympians found out? So after everything, you're taking Father's side in all of this?
I am. Your father is no fool when it comes to matters such as this. Besides, all that has happened, it's my fault. I was selfish. And now both sides of our family threaten to be torn apart.
Your fault? So let's say you never left Olympus. Then it'd be just like you thought until quite recently, I think. That I'd never existed. Besides, they haven't found out any of this. What makes you so sure they will all of a sudden?
Nyx may be veiling you from them as she veiled me when I fled here myself. But even her own powers aren't infallible. Each time you visit me, you are incurring risk. One small slip, and they shall find me. Discover your deception. Go home, Zagreus. Please.
Go home with me, Mother. You came here under false pretenses. I haven't fought all this way over and over again only to turn back now. I need you in my life. How can you just turn me away like this?
Oh, Zagreus. I cannot return. After all that happened between Hades and me, and everyone, I just cannot fathom the idea. Besides, the risks we're taking would be even greater if Olympus were to find me there with him and you.
Then, you're just going to stay here, alone in the middle of nowhere, in this little garden, forever, after we part ways, just like that.
My son, I know you've made hard choices and sacrifices to be here with me. And I'm forever grateful to have finally met you. But this is my home now, yes. While your home is below. Please, if not for your sake, then for mine, do not return. I love you, Zagreus. Goodbye.
Mother, blast.
Goodbye.
She can't do this to me.
Hello.
Than, I thought you ought to know that Ares, I think he's taken quite an interest in Nyx. Keeps asking me to talk to her on his behalf.
Finally. It's about time Olympus took notice of Mother and all her accomplishments.
Finally? You don't think Ares has untoward intentions or anything like that?
He'd be a hollow fool if he did. Why do you think they fear us on Olympus, Zagreus? Because of Hypnos? I don't think Mother Nyx requires your concern. Though by all means, talk to her about it if you like.
You're probably right. Get on.
I have returned. What say we go take care of business here just like we used to, Zag? Drove them back. Got more of them than I did, huh? Keep going.
Ah, yes.
Why, hello, Zagreus. You've come this far, now let's make sure you go the distance, Zag. You earned this fair and square. I have to get back.
Gone.
I found you, Zagreus. We'll have to catch up at some other time, though good to see you anyway. You held your own, I guess. Keep fighting.
How am I going to beat him?
I heard you stayed the Knave King's sentence. I should be angry with you. Sisyphus must be the only mortal ever to have humiliated me. But Mother Nyx, she must have backed you, didn't she?
We did what needed to be done. As much as Father likes making examples out of wretched shades, an eternal sentence felt a little excessive in this case. Besides, Sisyphus isn't leaving anyway. Seems to have found his niche.
Oh? Well, he's an odd one, through and through, I guess. As long as I don't have to deal with him again.
Don't think you will.
I sensed your presence here. I heard there was a matter that required my attention here. Hang on to this for me. You have this.
Thanks for the help. God damn it all. Again.
You've seen a lot of Megara lately, haven't you, Zag?
It's not like that, Than. She's there to slow me down, get in my way.
If you insist, although I think it's much more complicated than you say.
Yeah, her sisters are back. They're hard to deal with. I don't think Mega's on good terms with either one.
That's not what I meant. But fine. You've told me all I need to know for now.
Oh.
You would be wise to heed my words next time, and fear the consequences of eluding me. Death can be most unpleasant, as I'm sure you know.
Well, that's just it, Master Thanatos. I never was terribly fearful of you gods, if you'll forgive my saying so. Far as I can tell, all of you seem to have your struggles much like mortals do. A fear of death aside.
What would you know of the struggles of gods? Now you have eternity to think on what you've done. Maybe I'll check again with you after another eon or two, see if you've learned anything more.
Perfect timing.
Hey, sir.
Prince Ed, just missed your stern-faced colleague. Feel that stillness hanging in the air? Sounds like he won't be checking up on me again anytime soon.
Thanatos really isn't such a bad sort once you get to know him, sir. Though I suppose you'll have to take my word for that.
Oh, I believe it, Highness. I should think that bringing death must be a lonely job. Perhaps you ought to try pushing a boulder sometime. Here you are.
Figured you'd be up to have another of our little contests. Now let's go. Save some for me next time. Nice running into you.
Wait, I... I'll get you for this, Father.
How's everything been going with your mother, Zagreus? You've been pretty quiet about the whole thing. Is everything all right? You can tell me.
Thank you for asking, Than. I don't know how much more I can say right now, given everything. I'm still figuring it out myself. I'm thankful you've been there to help me get to see her from time to time.
Well, if there's something more that I can do to support you in this, let me know, all right? Sounds like you're making progress, at least.
I hope so.
I have returned. I only have a little time until my next assignment, but this shouldn't take too long. Let's see how quickly we can wrap this up.
Let's see indeed.
You've gotten stronger, Zag. See you.
I know that toll.
Death is inevitable. I got the feeling you could use some backup here. They're coming, Zagreus. The underground.
I'll get right on it, then.
Life is short. Enough. You got a lot of them.
I know that toll.
Life and death, one and the same. I only have a little time until my next assignment, but this shouldn't take too long. I'll take more down next time.
Was just thinking about you.
I thought I'd find you here. Let's see who's better at this, Zagreus. Think you can beat me, Zag?
One way to find out.
Hang on to this for me. Death is inevitable. Had a feeling I would find you all alone out here. What have I gotten myself into, Zag?
Wait, I hear something.
It's been a little while, hasn't it? Remember, not a word of this to anyone. Let's go. Chamber secured.
Good enough to eat.
Not bad, Zag.
Zesty.
Here.
Get on.
I happen to be in the area. I heard there was a matter that required my attention here. Got more of them than I did, huh? See.
And he's off. Thanatos?
Remember me, Returns. Good work out there. Sorry, Zagreus, I have to go. Lots of assignments as of late. Too bad I can't be everywhere at once.
See you out there.
I am here. You've come this far, now let's make sure you go the distance, Zag. You got as many as I did. You have this.
Not too bad that time.
That's the last of the new registrations, but I should have more soon.
Okay.
Just in time.
In the name of Hades. I got the feeling you could use some backup here. Save some for me next time.
I have to get back.
The sun. Helios.
You're back.
Mother? Mother, wait. What is all this?
Oh, Zagreus, I almost missed you. Truthfully, I hoped that I could make it a surprise.
Make what a surprise?
My arrival. I'm going. To your home. To Cerberus, Nyx, your father.
You're... really? Mother, you're serious?
I am. Now, if you could just help me pack up my remaining things. Only a few loose odds I'm bringing, just in case. If we hurry, maybe you could join me, rather than return the customary way. Not something a mother ever wants to see.
Join you? But wait, how are you going to get back? I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Just so happens I know somebody who can give us a ride.
Charon?
Doubtless he has pressing matters to attend to. So let's not keep him waiting any longer, son. Come on, then.
I'm still alive. But how?
You're on the River Styx. No longer in the mortal realm entirely.
I can't believe that this is happening.
I know. My heart is racing. Nothing like a river journey to remind oneself that there's no turning back.
Seriously. Though, even after all of this, it's like we only just met. I have so many questions for you still.
We'll have plenty of time for them, I think. For now, best we keep quiet. Pretend we're just a couple of dead souls on their final voyage.
We're here.
We're here.
This is embarrassing, but I don't know the way to get back in. Except, you know, the customary way.
That's quite all right. I do. In the name of Persephone the Queen, open the gates!
Thus was Hades, feared ruler of the dead, reunited with his long-lost bride, Persephone, the Queen. And together with their firstborn son, Prince Zagreus, they would go on to reign eternally beneath the earth, in relative harmony. The Queen's return marked an occasion of enthusiastic joy, so much as possible in that dark, gloom-filled realm of the dead. And even after all this time, Olympus never did discover what transpired there, in the underworld.
After all this time, it's only been a few days. But it's been good. Mother and father are back together, made some new friends, got this fancy painting. Easy. All is well in the underworld. I can't entirely get used to seeing us together like this.
You're back. So between us, all you're attempting to break out of here, over and over, you're now authorized to keep that up? Exposing weaknesses in underworld security, huh?
Something like that. I guess I've gotten pretty decent about escaping from a place that's known for being inescapable. Lets me keep in touch with the other side of the family, work with you from time to time.
I have to say, I never thought I'd hear you talking about looking forward to working, Zag. You feeling all right? Spending too much time on the surface, maybe?
Oh, I'm feeling fine. I never thought I was much good at anything, but if my fated purpose is to be a master of frustrating father's efforts to make everything strictly perfect, I think I'm okay with that.
Well then, I'll be looking forward to working with you in a more official capacity, even if we're still supposed to keep it all under wraps, for sake of appearances. See you out there.
Bye, Than. Come on in, Than.
I have returned.
Good to be working with you in a more official capacity, Zag. Shall we get started?
Here come your father's forces.
Let them come.
You earned this fair and square.
I should be getting back.
Ah, yes.
Why, hello, Zagreus. Good, I'm not too late. Got here as quickly as I could. Who wants to be the first to die again?
Not me. Oh, Lerny, why? Hey, I know you.
It just struck me how much you've changed, Zag. I still remember when you kept trying to singe Cerberus's tail with your feet. Haven't seen you do that in a while.
Oh, I definitely learned my lesson there. But thanks, I guess. You've opened up a lot yourself, by the way. Talking to you lately, it's a world apart from the first time. You looked like you were going to slice my head off.
It sure must have taken a lot of courage for you to come right up and tell me you thought I looked better before I cut my hair. I still ask myself how come I didn't keep ignoring you after that. Or slice your head off.
Well, the option is always available, I guess. Hey, you ever think of growing it out again?
No. It kept getting in my way. Sliced it right off and never looked back. So, plenty of personal growth all around then.
Definitely. Hey, Than.
Death is inescapable. I can't stay long, so how about we get this business over with? What say we get things started?
Sounds good.
Short work there, wasn't it? You're reckless, but you're quick.
Oh, I got the horns.
Have to tell you, Zag, it's different with your mother around here. Don't mean to be so obvious, but it's something about your father, I suppose.
I think they have a lot of work ahead of them. As long as they're trying, he's trying, I think I'm good with that for now. Though I am glad she's here.
I'm beginning to think we all are. And please don't take this the wrong way, but I think you and your father have a lot of work ahead of you as well.
Oh, I entirely agree with that.
I sensed your presence here. You look like you could use a hand. All right.
Power of Olympus.
You held your own, I guess. Don't die, Zag.
Hypnos, this list has a bunch of tasks from I don't know how long ago. I mean, I took several of these last year, and you've already submitted this week's registrations. Why isn't that marked complete?
Don't you know it? I was just about to get to that. Then you showed up and I got so distracted it just kind of slipped my mind. It happens, right?
You need to focus, brother, or it'll be Lord Hades reprimanding you again. And that is not something you want.
Oh, I don't know about that. Last time I talked to Master, he made pretty clear he never wanted to speak to me again.
Oof. Sorry, Hypnos. Fan, help!
No problem. I have returned. Good, I'm not too late. Got here as quickly as I could. You're welcome. You're not too bad at this.
Well, see you. Oh. What happened to Hypnos?
Queen Persephone. All of us, we are most pleased you're back. If there is anything that I can do to ease your acclimation to this house, you need but ask.
Why, thank you, Thanatos. I'll take you up on that if I can think of anything anytime soon. But my, you've grown. I understand you've been looking after my son in the meantime.
Your son, he is very capable of looking after himself, it turns out. Although I try to be there just in case. Though I must beg your pardon, Queen. Someone awaits me on the surface now.
I know how mortals hate waiting around. Zagreus, come here a moment, please. All right. We've matters with Olympus to resolve. They don't know I'm here, most of them, besides Zeus, maybe Athena. They think you're Nyx's son rather than mine, and that your goal is still to join them on their mountain top.
What a mess. What can we do? The gods of Olympus have all been very good to me for the most part. I don't feel great about deceiving them. They keep trying to help me escape.
What can we do? We can make peace with them, and let them know the truth. So much of it as they would tolerate. Diplomacy is not your father's strong suit, but I'm going to need you two to do exactly as I say. Do you understand?
Yes, Mother. So what do you intend to do, and how do I fit in?
We're going to invite all of them to a little family gathering. Here. And you shall personally deliver them their invitation, Zagreus.
Mother, are you serious? So we're just going to have a bash with them, and they'll just see you after all this time and be fine with everything?
They certainly shall not be fine with everything. But Hades and I will be prepared to tell them what they need to hear. Don't worry. I shall do the talking.
What are you going to say?
Oh, you know, that we met, fell in love, eloped, had a child. A child who, once grown, sought desperately to reconnect with his extended family. To the chagrin of his grim lord father.
That's all true. As individual statements, at least.
Fortunately, our loving and dutiful son at last persuaded his mother and father to reveal their secretive relationship and make an effort to rejoin their great family.
Your mother won't be happy that you left.
I'll deal with her. Perhaps I'll have to visit her and the rest of them from time to time, if that's what it shall take. But I'll be back. I have no choice. Did you know that if you eat the seeds of an underworld pomegranate, then you cannot leave for 1 month out of the year per seed?
What? No, I never knew that.
Neither do they.
How soon is this family gathering you have in mind going to take place?
Soon after you invite them all, I hope. Now go. And trust in me, all right? We have a lot to learn of trust, I think.
I know what you mean. I'll let you know when it's done. Oh, Father.
Oh, you just startled me there is all. I was just,
Hey, everything all right there, Hypnos?
Oh, absolutely! Everything definitely is! It's Thanatos. He said some stuff, and now I'm not so sure I'm doing the best job I can, you know?
I'm sure he wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. Wait, what am I saying? He's always been harsh with you, hasn't he?
Hey, what if he doesn't like me anymore? He's got other brothers!
I'll talk to him. Than, you know, Hypnos, he adores you. Besides just driving you to madness now and then.
I'm rather used to the relationship, thanks, Zagreus. Seems like you got to know him pretty well.
Well, dying repeatedly can end up bringing people closer, I suppose.
I don't know what's worse, dying repeatedly or Hypnos. Although I guess I'm grateful for your patience with him, Zag.
He's like an annoying little brother to me. Hey, Than.
Did you miss me, Zagreus? I heard there was a matter that required my attention here. You took down more than I did. I'm gone.
Got to tell you something, Than. You can be pretty mean to Hypnos. And that's coming from someone who's mean to Hypnos a lot. Believe me, I completely understand, but still.
He's utterly incompetent, Zag. He wouldn't even be here if Mother Nyx wasn't trying to whip him into some sort of shape.
Yeah, but pretty much none of this would be here were it not for Nyx, right? Anyway, my point is not that you should go easy on him, but there must be some way not to get as frustrated. You'll both be better off.
I know, it's just... You're right. I catch myself feeling particularly horrid after talking to him. He can be very frustrating and self-absorbed. Though, I know he means well. Probably.
Probably. Let's go with this one then. If Hypnos is going to be sleeping on the job, he ought to do it in the lap of luxury.
Hypnos has an important job to do.
I'm up. Hey, did you see? Somebody got me this incredible new sleeper seat right here. Though I would never lie down while on the job. I'm perfectly alright sleeping while standing up.
Well, there it is, in case you change your mind.
Death is inescapable. Thought I might stop by and check up on this corner of the underworld, Zag. You held your own, I guess. I have to get back.
What's going on with Charon, by the way, if you can tell me, Than? He's never been particularly talkative, but he really seems to know the inner workings of this place.
I correspond with Charon all the time, but even I don't know the full extent of his responsibilities. He's an independent contractor of sorts, been here forever. Your father gives him plenty of space to work.
He must be compensated pretty well for having done this for so long, tending the influx of new souls and all of that.
I doubt he's in it for the compensation, Zagreus. There is no underworld without Charon. I think he knows that, and your father knows it too.
I never thought of it like that.
Hey, hey.
Hey, sir.
Ah, there you are, Prince. I was just thinking about how grateful I am that you got me out of that contract with your father. It's been a real weight off my shoulders, truth be told.
You never seemed particularly concerned even before, sir. Must say, you're very good at hiding your worries.
And I could say the same to you. Look, I know you were concerned for my well-being. Now you don't have to be. And I'll still be around to help you out. Good feeling, isn't it? I got you covered, Prince.
Thank you, mate.
All this for someone such as me? You know I'm down here for a reason, don't you, Prince? Not just because your father and good Thanatos don't care for me. Yet, from the very first, you showed me decency I'd not experienced since I was a king. Perhaps not even then.
Whoever it was you used to be, sir, I believe you've changed. And I'm proud to say that you're my friend. And Boldy there as well. It's odd for me to say, but I am glad you're here. I think I've learned a lot from you about all this.
Well, Your Highness, I'm honored very much indeed. And having you amongst my list of friends makes it perhaps the greatest such a list a fellow such as I has ever had. Isn't that right, Boldy? Take it from me, Prince Ed. Boldy concurs.
You guys are great. Approaches.
It's time. Your father's forces making trouble for you, Zag? Good work, my friend. We should do this again.
I'll get you for this, father.
I always fancied Thanatos, you know. So put together and everything. I'm pleased to see you've grown so close. Things good between you two?
They are. Thank you, Mother. Hey, were you ever close with Charon, then? Seems like no matter how much I try, I can't quite get through to him.
Wouldn't be surprised if you were closer to him than I am. Not all of Nyx's sons and daughters keep in steady touch. Though at least we're not always at each other's throats, like the other side of your family.
Fair enough.
I just get sleepy sometimes, Mom. I mean, I've been working so much lately, just over there. You've probably seen me greeting shades, making my list, creating a welcoming environment.
Remember what we previously spoke of, Hypnos? Do not address me thus whilst we are here. Conduct yourself as befitting a servant of the House of Hades. And continue practicing your independence, please.
Yes, Mom. I mean, Mother.
You ever been in love with someone, stranger? Might be a mortal's only thing for all I know. You gods have strange relationships, I hear.
I have been, sir. Or I should say I am.
Ah, that's good. Cling to the feeling, then. And if you lose it, reach for it. Search for it, no matter what, all right? Because without it, well, there isn't much of a comparison, I think.
Take care, then. Ugh, I'm sure Mother's cottage is perfectly fine.
What? Oh!
Boy.
I thank you for your blessings, Queen Persephone. Your son and I, we always were quite close, but through all this ordeal, we've become rather inseparable, I think.
Well, I can see he has better taste than I do, Thanatos. I have a sense of how industrious you are. You just take care of yourself, please. And take care of each other too, all right?
As you will, Queen. I mean, all right.
All right.
Tough break.
Was just about to go on break, if you would care to join me. Good catching up. Take care of yourself, Zag.
Phew. Did pretty well that time. Mother.
Zagreus.
It's done, Mother. Father, the invitations. Personally sent to everyone with whom I've been in contact. So what do we do now?
Excellent, Zagreus. Congratulate him, Hades. On a job well done.
Persephone, how can you be so certain your request was executed to your satisfaction?
It's known as trust, Hades. Or faith. They're similar. Try one sometime. It'll be good for you. As for what we do next, why, we've a great big feast we must prepare.
This house is not a suitable location for such guests. Dionysus alone shall bring ruin to this place. Or... the faith thing that you said.
Yes, good. Now then, we have a lot of work to go around, so why don't we call everyone on staff and let them in on this, and dole out suitable responsibilities, all right?
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thus did all of Olympus journey deep into the underworld, all together for the very first time. The Queen Persephone revealed herself in all her splendor, much to their surprise, and told them everything she indicated to her son. She eloped with Grim Lord Hades, she said, mothering a fire-stepping prince who sought to reconnect with his extended family. Hades and Persephone at first refused his wish, but so moved were they by his relentless struggles to the surface that at last they decided to heed their willful Zagreus and reach out, for his and everybody's sake. The Olympians listened to all this in stunned silence. Then Zeus himself began to laugh. "Welcome back into the family," he said. After the shock subsided, the festivities began.
I say, big brother, you and your better half put on a positively smashing night. It's a relief for all of us, knowing Persephone is safe and sound, and mother to as noble of a son as my good nephew there. Well, little brother, the Queen and I, in turn, appreciate you all taking time out of your doubtless busy lives to come all this distance to my house. I'm certain it is very modest in comparison to Mount Olympus, but I trust that you were suitably entertained. Oh, of course, Hades. Now then, farewell, and let us keep in better touch from here. Farewell indeed, Lord Zeus.
When finally the great feast ended, all the Olympians returned to their mountain abode, fully satisfied. As for the house of Hades, it required thorough cleansing, from the rafters to the floor. Such revelry, of course, is unbecoming of the name of Hades, and the fearsome reputation of the underworld. For if mortals were to have no fear of death, then they would have no fear of anything at all. A well-kept family secret, then, this would live on to be.
Whew. I'd say that went about as well as could have been expected. And the cleanup wasn't all that bad, for the most part.
Well, fortunate Uncle Zeus seemed to catch on right away and went along with it. But this whole elaborate tale you spun, I remember how hurt I felt when I found out Father lied to me about you. Now we're lying to Olympus. What if they find out? Even if they don't, I don't like it.
Zagreus, I may not be an expert, but here's what I've come to understand about how families work. At least our own. The thing is, how we speak to one another is even more important than the words we use. I think, deep down, everyone in our family knows this.
You're saying they all knew you weren't being perfectly honest and went along with it anyway. I guess the pomegranate thing in particular was a bit of a stretch.
The common ground in our family is that we want peace. Besides Ares, though even he would rather the conflict occur elsewhere. That elaborate tale, it's less a deception and more a concession. A way of saying, let's move on from the past and start anew. No hard feelings.
You don't have hard feelings? What about Father? What about Demeter?
Well, let's see. My hard feelings are nothing next to the joy of having my son in my life. Your father never imagined his relationship with me could be out in the open. And my mother, she's just glad I'm alive.
And Uncle Zeus is glad things didn't turn out worse for him. I get the sense he acts a bit impulsively at times and deals with the consequences later.
What can I tell you, Zagreus? We're family. You've said it yourself to me before. We're stuck with one another. That any of us like each other in the slightest. It's a wonder and a blessing, I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Mother. Think I'll be heading out again soon. See you when I get back.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Well, well, well.
I have to say, Mother, that was a clever plan. Convincing Father to finally let somebody have some fun around here.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for the best. There's just one thing that happened that I ought to tell you about, son. No secrets between us and all. This is quite difficult for me to say.
It's about Demeter, isn't it? You two were talking half the night. She wants you to come home with her, doesn't she? You'll always be her little one, something like that?
Indeed. Something like that. You're quite perceptive, have I ever told you, Zagreus? But yes, my mother, she was quite conflicted. Didn't know whether to smite me or to hold me. Maybe both. And yes, she asked that I come home. To my responsibilities.
So, you're leaving? No, Mother, you can't be leaving. You just got here.
Oh, it's not as bad as that. It's just... if we are to keep the peace down here, then I must spend some time up there. Every so often. But I shall always return in no time at all. I promised Hades, and I promise you.
Well then, when are you going to go?
Soon, Zagreus. Perhaps by the time you're back.
I don't suppose I can come with you, can I?
You know the surface isn't good for you. Besides, you're needed here. But if you really want to see it for yourself someday, who knows? Perhaps eventually we'll figure out a way.
I'm going to miss you, Mother.
I'm going to miss you too, son.
I have to shift away from here, though if you'd care to join me. Too bad I can't just shift you to the top, though this wasn't so bad. Looks like we've got an urgent work-related matter to attend to.
That's something.
That's settled.
Gods grant me strength.
You're reckless, but you're quick. I'm going.
See you, Than. Thanatos?
How goes it, Zagreus? What do you say we deal some death together, Zagreus? We'll leave no trace of this. Not bad, Zag. Here. Well, I'm off.
Wish I could do that.
Little godling, would that I knew every last detail of how you and Thanatos are getting on of late. The notorious incarnate of death and the newly discovered son of Hades fraternizing? It's positively scandalous, I think.
Guess Mother's off someplace.
You wish to see me once again, my lord? It's been a while since I had an audience with you.
It has. The last time, what was it you said? That there must be some resolution to the matter, as you called it, with my son? Well, it is settled now. Isn't it, boy?
I mean, you're still trying just as hard as ever to prevent me from escaping past the threshold of your realm, so I don't know if I'd exactly call the matter settled, but it does feel different now.
And so you see, I would continue in our mutual good graces, if you please. This house can only function if the upper management is in accord. What do you say?
I say you honor me, my lord. I appreciate you telling me yourself, and I concur that for the good of all the underworld, it is imperative that each of us continue to perform at our full strength.
Then, as you were, dismissed.
Well, that was interesting.
Hypnos, you're not irreplaceable, you understand? If you don't shape up quickly, someone else is going to have your job.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, Thanatos. And let me tell you, they will have the greatest job in all the underworld.
I feel like I'm not getting through to you, brother. Well, after the inevitable happens, don't come telling me I didn't try.
Don't worry, I won't.
How could Lerny do this?
Well, how often do you consult these lists you make? If you're spending too much time just making lists, you're not leaving time to get anything done.
Oh, I love making my lists. I always illustrate the edges. Each one is unique. That way, anyone who gets to review the work, it's a whole experience, you know? But I guess it does take up a lot of time.
You'll have to work around the constraints of your responsibilities. You do take breaks, don't you? Before and after each break, maybe that's a time to make sure your own list of priorities is up to date.
Wait, my own list of priorities? But you're saying I could just go and make a list for me? Huh. Oh. Whoa.
If that'll be all.
I can't believe it, Mr. Hypnos. How did you do it? All the shades that have been lining up, they've been moving right along.
You know, you're right. They have. They definitely have. It's pretty hard to notice since they're slow, but I have a keen eye. And so do you. You noticed before I did in this case. What did you say your question was back there?
I asked you how you did it. Got the traffic flow moving a little faster, and it's the sarcophagus things, isn't it? Right down the hall. The shades, they're scared to stand around. That's brilliant, Mr. Hypnos. I'm impressed.
Oh, that, well, really, it was nothing, Dusa. Though, I'll tell you something. It is good to know that you're impressed with me.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Anyway, I'll mark this as resolved.
Mark it away.
Life and death, one and the same. Hope you don't mind if I cut in here, Zagreus. You got a lot of them. Buy that.
Well...
Your reports have been much more punctual of late, Hypnos. That is to be expected. However, the illustrated edges, a clever detail, ensures certain reports are easily procured from a stack of parchment.
Oh, thanks, Master. Glad you like those. Ever since Thanatos made pretty clear to me I was about to lose my job, I started keeping a list of my own tasks, which I sort through each day, deciding on priority, estimating time to completion, cost-benefit analysis.
Yes, well, certainly then you have a number of such tasks requiring your attention. Continue working diligently then.
Okay.
Showed you that time, Father.
I've heard that your reports have been immaculate of late, Hypnos. I have to know, who's helping you with them? It can't be Zagreus.
Oh, no, he doesn't help. It's just, I took to listing only the important stuff up top and spending just a bit more time on the priority reports, and guess it's working out.
Look, whatever the case, the work's improved. It's been observed. You ought to keep it up.
Aw, thanks.
Good work, Hypnos. All right then.
So what I mean to say is that I'm sorry, Hypnos. You're my brother, but I haven't always treated you that way. Would you be willing to forgive me?
Oh, come on, Thanatos. Are you kidding me right here? We're like two skeletons in a crypt. You're the best, and you're always looking out for me. Even when you're not around for what can seem like eons at a time.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We each have got important jobs to do. Isn't that right, brother?
Huh, that is right. Welcome to the House of Hades. Oh, hey, this might be a little weird, but thanks. I mean, you talked to Thanatos about me, right? At first, I thought he was acting funny, but he has definitely been a lot nicer to me lately.
Come on, Hypnos, I didn't have anything to do with that. You seem like you've been working extra hard and taking some of the feedback you've been getting to heart. I think Thanatos really appreciates that sort of thing. Who doesn't?
I don't know, but I really appreciate that you went out of your way. I mean, I just stand here and greet and register the dead, but you're a real friend.
Oh, thanks, Hypnos.
Quite a mess you've made here, Zagreus. We'll have to catch up at some other time, though good to see you anyway. What chance did they have? Good work, my friend. Take care, Zagreus.
I can hardly believe it. Hypnos finally came out on top, huh? Even Father seemed pleased with him. It's more than I get.
I can hardly believe it either, Zagreus. But then again, he's one of Mother Nyx's offspring, so we shouldn't be so surprised. Though I have to thank you for talking to me about him a while back.
Oh, that. I noticed you two getting along better recently. So what's your secret?
He loves lists. Doesn't do well with subtlety so much, but spell things out for him and he will get right on it. Long as he's awake, at least. He's still working on that part.
Who doesn't have room for improvement though, right?
The task is clear to me, Mother. I go. Your will be done.
Thank you, my son.
Mother's away, I guess.
You're not in too much of a hurry, are you, Zag? Well then, some mortal up there has lived a good long life.
Вот и подошло к концу видео о танзагах. Как же я их люблю! Они просто лучшая пара, которую я только встречала среди других игровых романов. Я безумно рада их существованию и бесконечно благодарна разработчикам за создание таких поистине искренних, настоящих и нежных отношений. Сейчас многие произведения строятся на сексе, романтизировании стекла, абьюза и драм. И очень не хватает таких вот уважительных, красивых и взрослых чувств. Здоровых отношений, если говорить совсем просто. Я не смогу сходу назвать еще такую же пару, где оба партнера ведут себя очень правильно по отношению друг к другу. Танатоса вы встречаете в первый раз лишь на 3-м уровне, то есть в Элизиуме. До него он не появляется, но после него ваша жизнь изменится. Этот мужчина, так сказать, определенная награда за труд. Он нелегкодоступный, но прекрасный до смерти. Я могу сейчас прозвучать как абсолютный симп Танатоса, коим в принципе и являюсь, о чем не стесняюсь гордо заявить. Но он, дарит Загу сердце. Сердце он ему дарит, чтобы тот восполнил здоровье и прошел дальше. Ну какая Мэг, какая Дуза? Тан и только Тан. Вот кто на самом деле ценит и искренне заботится о Загрее. Да и вообще их история сама по себе так красива. Друзья детства, которые долгое время считали себя братьями, а потому не рассматривали свои чувства как возможность чего-то большего. Хотя когда это инцест был преградой в мифах Древней Греции. Если вы хоть немного увлекаетесь этой тематикой, то понимаете, о чем я. Но Тан и Заг все же придерживались определенных рамок. А потом у Загрея появилась Мегера. Господи, лучше бы не появлялась, я бы хоть хейтил этого персонажа на каплюху меньше. Ну и все в конце концов дошло до событий в игре. С желанием Загрея покинуть подземный мир, где он узнал, что не является сыном Никты, а Танатос стал невольно помогать своему лучшему другу в его стремлении сбежать. И это постепенно рождало между ними особенное чувство, которое вполне могло начать созревать и раньше. Однако ростки появились лишь в таких особенных обстоятельствах. Ох, как классно, как же классно это! Отношения героев также претерпевают изменения по ходу развития сюжета. Сначала на Зага многие обижаются и пытаются помешать ему добраться до поверхности. Кто-то, Мегера, думает о том, что своими действиями Загрей разрушает дом, хотя он единственный его наоборот улучшает. Кто-то просто не понимает, как принц подземного мира готов харчи применять на неизвестно что, а кому-то просто грустно и одиноко. И вот последний – это Тан. Он хоть и бог смерти, но показан персонажем очень сочувствующим и, как бы это странно ни звучало, но комфортным. Он выполняет свой несменный долг, однако сам по себе является не страшным пугающим скелетом с косой, а просто честно выполняющим свой долг. И вот представьте, жили вы жили, дружили с кем-то очень для вас близким, и тут этот человек заявляет: «Хочу все поменять, переехать и вообще отбросить все свои прошлые отношения». Естественно, такая внезапная смена характера у вроде бы знакомого человека заденет, обидит и даже испугает. Особенно, если это ваш лучший друг, которого вы, казалось бы, знаете как облупленного с самого детства. Это запутывает. Загрея это можно понять. Он, узнав правду, просто не может забить и оставить все, как было раньше. Он хочет узнать правду, увидеть маму, понять, почему та ушла. Иначе он ответов не получит. Отец то играет в молчанку, то угрожает, то предвещает какие-то непоправимые последствия. Но вот что парню делать, если с ним банально не говорят и не дают понять серьезность поступка? Так что он упрямо прокладывает себе путь сам через гордость подземного владыки и его слуг. Танатос, по сути, должен в первых рядах наравне с Мегерой Зага останавливать. Но он этого не делает. Он наоборот ему помогает, несмотря на собственные переживания и старательно скрываемую обиду. Тан при первых появлениях словно пытается оттолкнуть Загрея. Он не понимает, зачем тут дарит подарки и намекает на что-то, если он собрался рвать с подземным миром. Постепенно у них все налаживается, но развитие отношений подано очень красиво. Танатос тоже периодически бурчит и возмущается и говорит, что лучше бы Заг остался, ведь его настоящий дом, друзья, все находится в подземном мире. Но он все же не мешает ему по-настоящему. А порой даже возмущается, если у принца ничего не получается. Мол, ну и на кой ты умер, когда я тут задницу рву, рискуя своим положением и доверием своего начальника. Это еще один плюс в копилочку Танатоса. Он ведь действительно сильно рискует подорвать к себе доверие и репутацию, полученную явно не за один век. Он поставил желание другого человека выше своего собственного. Да и его бубнёж, по сути дела, вызван скорее страхом потерять и никогда больше не видеть Загрея. Это тоже все объяснялось через диалоги. Так же, как и неоднократные заверения, что Загрей может к нему обращаться, говорить о своих трудностях и знать, что он не один. Он может рассчитывать на его помощь. Да и вообще Тан просто булка и цундре. У данного типажа побурчать – это функция по умолчанию. Видели, как он от флирта Зага умело свинчивал, придумывая 1001 причину? Очаровательно же! Я бы больше задумалась над искренностью чувств Танатоса, если бы тот вообще никак не препятствовал Загрею и не пытался переубедить его вернуться. А так у них все как надо. То, как Заг интересуется мнением Тана о том, все ли того устраивает в нем, меня вообще покорило. Ведь все люди разные, и множество пар очень часто расходятся из-за того, что не могут найти точки соприкосновения. Они начинают друг от друга уставать и раздражаться. В ответ Танатос отвечает, что пусть Заг и бывает в некоторых моментах несносным, но он обязательно скажет ему, если что-то начнет выходить из-под контроля и его терпения. И это так здорово, ну что я еще могу сказать? Так и строятся отношения двух взрослых людей, через спокойные разговоры, компромиссы и взаимоуважение. Когда ради своего партнера ты где-то меняешься сам, а где-то просто принимаешь определенную сторону своего возлюбленного. То, как Танатос без сомнений каждый раз приходил Загрею на помощь, выбивало из меня весь дух. Я реально аж мурашками покрывалась во время его характерного звука появления на карте. Я его ждала. А тот момент, когда их отношения перешли в более романтический уклон, и Тан сказал, что воспользуется любым шансом, чтобы прийти на помощь, даже если самому Загу это не нужно, я бессильна тут в подборе прилагательных, честно. Это слишком красиво, а Танатос самый верный, прекрасный и изумительный партнер. И вы просто не представляете, как я умилялась смущенному Танатосу, который на последних этапах перед официальным становлением пары постоянно сбегал. Такой очаровательный и взволнованный. Вкупе с шикарной озвучкой это, конечно, производит неизгладимое впечатление. Эти его интонации, то строгие, то неуверенные, то такие нежные и мягкие. Большое браво его актера озвучки. Они потрясающая пара, правда потрясающая. Все у них начинается мило, неловко и забавно, но с развитием сюжета они разбираются в своих истинных чувствах и демонстрируют нам взрослые отношения. Не только в интимных моментах, когда они отдыхают от всего мира и забот, но и во время диалогов друг с другом обо всем происходящем, о них самих и о других людях. Что меня также безумно порадовало, так это естественное продолжение их романа даже после того, как они становятся парой. У них появляются новые диалоги, те самые адекватные разговоры, в которых они познают друг друга с новых сторон и выясняют то, что их волнует. Крайне было приятно слышать разговоры об отношениях танзагов со стороны других людей, той же Никты, Персефоны, Афродиты. Признание Тана своему брату, что он теперь встречается с Загреем, я считаю очень значимым жестом с его стороны и в контексте основной сюжетной линии про семью. Честный ответ Загрея Патроклу, небольшая ревность Тана к Мегере и недовольство от Загрея из-за заинтересованности Ареса в Тане. От последнего я просто визжала, потому что это настолько неожиданная новая черта в легком характере Зага и в, казалось бы, апатичном отношении Тана к чувствам, ведь они свойственны только смертным. А тут вот оно как получилось. Вы ведь и без меня знаете, что многие чувства, о которых вы даже не догадывались или не думали, что можете испытывать, начинают играть другими красками и возникают при появлении второй половинки. А Аресом я, если честно, восхищаюсь, потому что не получилось с сыном, так он на мать переключился. По-моему, бог войны выполняет роль лучше, чем богиня любви Афродита. Такой он, конечно, пострел везде поспел. Ну и, конечно, я также не могу не отметить их очаровательное совместное времяпрепровождение. Они сражаются плечом к плечу. Их спарринги одновременно и помощь Загрею, и такой легкий соревновательный азарт. Я обожаю пары с такой динамикой, когда им вместе весело и интересно. Они хоть и представляют абсолютных противоположностей, смерть и возрождение, но друг без друга существовать не могут. Правильно Ахиллес сказал, их магнитом друг к другу тянет, так как один без второго не может. Думаю, это для вас уже не спойлер, если вы посмотрели роман от и до, но как вам пара абсолютных противоположностей, когда один бог смерти, а второй бог жизни, крови и возрождения? При этом они так хорошо находят общий язык, понимают и поддерживают друг друга. Они самая нетоксичная пара, которую только можно было придумать. Они доказательство того, что разные по характеру люди могут быть вместе, понимать друг друга и уступать, не выпячивая свою гордость во благо партнера. Даже если вы в чем-то не согласны, но принимаете позицию любимого человека, поддерживая его, вы не будете сраться по поводу и без. Танзаги это и показывают своей динамикой. Они оба очень приятные и воспитанные молодые люди, которые умеют слушать и слышать. В самом конце игры невооруженным глазом видно, насколько сильно Тан влюблен в Загрея. Когда их отношения, так сказать, вошли в рутину жизни, стабилизировались, и он окончательно убедился, что никуда Заг от него не денется. Он по-прежнему останется с ним. Конечно, Танатос сказал, что и в мире смертных выследил бы Зага, по сути, последовал бы за ним куда угодно, несмотря на все неудобства. А это очень романтичный и красивый жест. По сути, крайне откровенное признание со стороны довольно замкнутого и аккуратного в своих словах бога смерти. Это очередное подтверждение серьезности его чувств. Но все же решение Загрея остаться в доме и просто иногда выбираться наружу по работе, назовем это так, словно сняло груз с плечей Тана, сделав его счастливым, свободным и нашедшим покой в своей вечной, безостановочной жизни рядом с возлюбленным, которого он всегда сможет встретить в доме. Как-никак, Танатос не смог бы оставить свои обязанности, а потому их встречи на поверхности все равно были бы минимальны. Это как отношения на расстоянии, наверное. Немного грубый пример, но что-то вроде того. А так, они все время рядом, и это осознание дарует облегчение. Разработчики по-настоящему постарались над этим романом, не закончив его постельной сценой. Я проходила игру до того момента, пока не осталось никаких квестов, а диалоги начали повторяться. До этого самого момента роман мальчиков продолжался. Меня особенно радует, что танзаги – популярная пара, то есть людям действительно они понравились, и мне хочется верить, что это смотивирует авторов описывать отношения между людьми больше с положительной, адекватной стороны. И я также немного горжусь тем, что этим своим видео познакомила кого-то с танзагами, потому что полного видеоромана по ним не видела, лишь некоторые кусочки. Hades — игра сама по себе замечательная, и я очень-очень прошу в нее сыграть или посмотреть прохождение на моем канале. Получите колоссальное удовольствие. Игра теплая, с правильным посылом и потрясающим главным героем. Да вообще с великолепными персонажами, множеством диалогов и трогательной семейной тематикой. Ну, а таково мое мнение о танзагах. А что думаете вы? Пожалуйста, напишите свое мнение о них в комментариях, мне очень интересно. Ну, или если вы романсили не Тана, а Дузу или Мегеру, также делитесь своими впечатлениями. Я без понятия, что там у них, так что интересно будет почитать. Ну, а на этом я заканчиваю. Ссылки на донаты в описании под видео. На Бусти я всегда выкладываю видео раньше, чем в YouTube. Также там я спокойно освещаю и 18+ темы. Буду рада вашей материальной поддержке. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, оставляйте комментарии. Если поделитесь этим видео или посоветуете его, я буду безмерно благодарна. Ну а на этом я заканчиваю. Спасибо, что были со мной, и до встречи в других видео.